right, guys, I'm really looking forward to sharing this. We're going to be sharing a bit of a floor flow, simple calisthenics practice today. The intention is to get the spine feeling really good, the hips open and the shoulders open. We spend so much time on our devices, sitting in chairs, wearing shoes. All of that communicates to our nervous system that our environment's not safe. Every single one of those things closes our body, and it creates what's called tension. If we're living our lives with a lot of tension, that also means that our nervous system is quite potentially living in a chronic state of stress or a spinal sympathetic state. We are designed to move and move well. So it's not necessarily about smashing ourselves all of the time and hammering our bodies, right? We create enough tension with what happens in our environment, with our workload, with our emails, with our busyness that we choose to do. And then we go and smash ourselves at the gym, and we tend to just create more and more tension. So this will be a strength-based practice, but it's also going to include a lot of mobility, a lot of hip opening, and a lot of flow to really help the nervous system stay calm and get some really good quality movement in. So in saying that, I'm probably thinking it's about a 25-minute, 30 practice. We will see. But let's start off with some hip mobility. Once again, these mats that I'm using are super simple to get. They are just simply from Bunnings. Really great for any floor flow practice at home. My husband and I use them for a little bit of wrestling, a bit of jiu-jitsu every now and then. But really, really great if you're just looking to have a bit of a roll around on the floor. At the end of the day, less is more. We don't really need a lot of equipment if you've got a body. It's about learning how to use that and have fun along the way. You're keeping the movements really nice and simple through this flow. All right, let's take a pause here and let's start to open up the front of the hip flexors and then come back down. Press into the shins, trying to get length into the front, opening up through the groins, and then back down to the ground. Keeping the hands off the ground if we can. We tend to, as mentioned before, sit in chairs a lot, and this whole front side of the body here becomes really tight because we do the opposite. So when we're opening up, really see how long you can become down the front of the quads and the hip flexors. And moving forward from that, I've actually just released a 6-week foot, knee and hip training program that comes now with my foot and hip toolkit. So feel free to jump over into my website to check that out. And grab yourself not just a toolkit, but the 6-week training program as well. All right, beautiful guys. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do some rock and rolls and just work into a little bit of mobility with the spine and a little bit of flexion. So we're working through these. We're just gonna choose a couple of options, whether it be a straddle, whether it be a sit and reach. Just have a little bit of a play with what feels nice to you, and then we might even add on a little bit of a squat here as well, just depending on how it feels in your body. If it does feel nice to add on a squat, feel free to give that a go. These 8 squats feel really nice, just rounding the spine, dropping the bum down. You might even add a bit of a hang and a fold. Choosing any of those movements, whether it be a sit and reach, maybe it's a straddle, maybe it's a squat, take whatever feels nice for you for maybe about another 3 or so repetitions. Bringing ourselves over to hands and knees, taking some spinal rolls and waves here. Feel free to make this as organic as you like. Just rippling and rolling through your spine. See if you can create space between the scapula. Maybe extending the hands out, playing a bit with some child's pose variations, maybe leaning that into some up dog variations. Once again, for the next 5 breaths, just creating any movement here that feels good for you. The next time we come down to the ground, we're going to just set up some scorpion rolls here. Bring the right hand out and just gently tip over. And moving it to the other side. I like to take an inhale to open and an exhale to close. I'm just about to move into my cycle, so rolling on my chest is not actually that comfortable. So what we might do is bring that movement up, and then from here, just rocking those knees side to side and taking a bit of a reach. It does feel a bit better on my chest. Beautiful, taking that back over again, and let's bring ourselves into a squat position here. All right, so we're gonna start our first little bit of strength movements from this position. Now, if this is not comfortable for you, feel free to come up a little bit higher or put your heels under something elevated. I do sell heel chocks in the foot and hip toolkit that can help with this kind of stuff, so that we can start to work towards getting our passive squat. Alright, our first movement is going to be a bear crawl, forward and backward, really opening up the hamstrings. So we want to go really nice and slow in these movements as mentioned, and treat them as strength-based movements, really encompassing mobility. So we're in our bear crawl. We want to lift up our hips really nice and high, keep your knees as bent as you need to, and push the floor away, nice straight strong arms. When we're bear crawling, we're going to really try to get that foot towards the back of the wrist. And we're just going to bear crawl forward and back, just using the space for now. So starting to really utilize compression as much as possible. And then as we come back, just seeing if we can do a similar thing, walking backward. Beautiful, going again. Nice, returning back to your squat position here. Alright, our next one, once again, utilizing compression, playing around with a pistol squat variation here. So from this position, let's take a roll up to stand. As we come into stand position, we're going to revisit our mid squat, right? From our squat position, we're going to take a bit of a walk out. The further you go, the easier it is. Push the floor away, compress, take the left hand off, and we're going to kick the right leg through, point the toe and squeeze the quad. From here, we want to compress, bring the knee into the chest, and then place the foot back down and walk into a squat. And then we're going to stand. So we'll do that on the other side as well. So coming down into a squat, walking out to your degree, lean to the left hand and push away and compress. Hover the right hand off, left knee to nose and kick away. Push the floor away, slow rotation, hand comes back and walk it back to a squat. Go through 2 more times with that. So we're coming down, still keep it nice and slow, but maybe you go closer to the body. Right hand down, kick the leg through, maybe come closer to the body, back to squat and then stand. Last time through, one on the right and one on the left. Really use compression as much as you can. This will transfer to a pistol squat. Ooh. Take a short rest. Well done. Our next one is one of my favorite basic movements, a hip swivel into a push up, with the options to add a scorpion tail. So when we're working through this one, we're going to take that 90-90 hip swivel. We're going to roll ourselves into some sort of a plank, and then taking your version of a push up, press back up, knees down, hip roll. Nice and simple, nice and slow. Into your version of plank, slow press up, back up, knees down, hip roll. Maintaining that pace as you come into your plank. Maybe you pause for a little bit at the bottom of your push-up. Press back up, knees down, hip roll. In your press up, we really want to make sure we're pulling the pubic bone, the belly, and the sternum away from the floor. So we're not collapsing into the lower back. Drop your knees if you find that you're collapsing, as in like this, into your lower back, and zip everything away from the floor. Last one, nice and slow. Here we go. Maybe coming down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, push. Well done. We've got one more move in the sequence. As humans in this world we're in at the moment, it's so hard for a lot of us to move slow. We practice moving quick so often. So when we do our movements slow, it's really challenging for us because we know that it's easier to move quickly. So even when we come into this next movement, we're going to be practicing some floating or jumping. Resist the urge to speed it up and see how we go. We're going to do 6 handstand hops here with heaps of variations. All right, so from here, we want to come back into this like crouch position, right? So I'm kind of keeping my arms long and sending my bum over my heels. First option is to just simply walk the feet in, and we're looking for some compression and hold, and then walk back out into that space. Right, our second option is to do a jump. So sending the hips back over the heels, push the floor away, and take a hop as long as you can towards your hands. Once again, we're going to go for 6 repetitions here, really working on compression and straight arm scapular strength. Let's give it a go. So whether you're walking, maybe take the first 1 or 2, have a walk here. It's really hard to talk here, and walk it back, looking to get your hips over your hands. And then maybe you might move to a jump, and we're looking for about 4 more. Don't rush in. Last 2. And 1. Well done. Ooh. Wow, I'm pretty cooked after 1 round. We're going to take the time just to lie down to our backs here. We're going to do some bridge reaches for some active shoulder opening and mobility here. Bring your heels in and lift up into a bridge pose. And simply we're just going to like reach the arm over and then coming back to your bridge position. So from here, reaching the arm over, really opening the front of the hips here, and then bringing yourself back. Reaching over, and bringing yourself back. If this feels too much, just stay with the bridge lift. I really like this on the shoulders. Again, I've got a nice squishy floor to do this on. Your hips up nice and high, engaging through those glutes. And then coming back down, turning that movement over, taking a few spinal waves and rolls here. Maybe bring those fingers nice and wide, and let's take some rolling articulations here. We are going to go back through 2 more times, not once, of those movements. same time, we'll push ourselves back, maybe bring yourself back into your squat position. And then getting ready to go again. All right, so 3 movements to get through. When we're moving through that little kick through, we are going to start to work towards a pistol squat. So the closer your hand goes to your body, the more compression you've got to use, the harder this is. So let's give this a go. Face the front this time. So as we're coming down, squat position here, right hand comes down. We're looking to kick the right leg through and see if you can support your pistol squat here. Good job. And then we're going to really compress back to squat and then stand. Left side, left hand down, push away. Really try to keep the whole foot onto the ground in your pistol squat and then pushing away and then back. Well done, guys. If this was working for you, you can of course start to take the hand away, come back and through. That's 3. Keep it moving. Be mindful of how your feet are landing. It's really, really important that the knees are over the ankles. The knees are hinge joint. I talk more on that in the foot course that we do, but we really want to make sure we're landing our feet, that it is in the right position. Oh yeah, well done. Take a moment. Yeah, definitely warming up. All right. Good job, guys. All right, our next movement, of course, we've got our bear crawling, which can go to a press handstand drill. All right, so either staying with your bear crawl, or what we're going to try to think about doing is using compression and push the floor away. So we're going to go up and back, all 4 laps of a bear crawl. I'll leave that up to you. If you are working this version, you can keep bent knees. My hamstrings are really tight today. So I'm pushing the floor away, lifting the hips, lift, 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 and then letting the feet come towards the back of the wrists. Ooh. All right, one more lap. If you're doing your bear crawl, I'm doing 4 laps. Approximately a minute-ish of work. Last one, then we'll land down on our bums. Oh. All right, when we come to our hip swivel, when we come into our push-up, option to add your scorpion tail. So moving your hips around a little bit, especially after that, if you took the version I did. And we're going to start to roll out into our plank. Right, and setting up your plank, coming down, maybe we add a scorpion tail back to our plank, our push-up, sorry, and then back up. Just an option. Scorpion tail push-ups are a really nice one, just to get that opening into the hip. Have a play, keep your elbows in and tuck right into the side of your body if you are taking this option. And again, we really want to make sure that that sternum, belly button and pubic bone are pulled in nice and tight. If you're doing regular push-up option, you'll probably be going for about 6. So I'm just going to take 4 of these, nice and slow. We are well done. All right, we're coming to round number 2 of our little pike jumps here. We're going to have a bit of a play and a practice with lifting one foot off the floor. So it's like left foot, right foot. It just gives us a bit of a sensation of floating a little bit more. So when we come into these 6 reps, we can give this a go. You can also stay with the walking version that we did before. All right, so setting this up, I'm going to try to lift one foot and then the second foot, land it nice and softly at the top. We've got 5 more like that. So really push the floor away, compress. 1, 2. This is a nice way to feel like we're not going to go arse over head. And it's a great practice for handstand if that's what you're practicing. Oh, I don't want to go, my legs are cooking. All right, last one here. Oh, well done. They are done. All right, our mobility. This time we're just going to do some just gentle kind of active Supermans here. Again, getting the body open. We've done a lot on our hands here. So what we're going to think about doing is finding ourselves like into our cactus arms, so to speak. And then we're going to lift up on the inhale. Exhale, drawing the pinky fingers together. Inhale, draw the hands back and exhale back down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Keep going. Last one. All right. Taking a little bit of mobility here. See if we can bring ourselves into an ape squat. Really rounding through the spine here. And what we're going to attempt to do is lift up, open the knees, draw the scapula down. So we're going to exhale to close. And then inhale, popping up onto the balls of the feet. Open the arms and drop the scapula down. So really feeling the shoulders drop here. Exhale, close. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. One more round to go. Oh, great work, guys. This time we might try to transition into our pistol squat and maybe take our hands away. See how you go. All right, let's get ready to roll it out. We're going to go for about 6 reps on this one. So once again, coming down and choosing any of the options that I have shared. Using the hand to come down, see if you can find your pistol squat here. And then maybe bringing the foot back and then coming up. Let's see if we can do that again. Hand comes down, going through into a version of pistol squat. Maybe no hands. And then back up to stand. All right, let's continue. Maybe taking the hands completely out of it this time. Again, just taking your time through the mobility. Don't rush it. Oh, one more each side. One side definitely a little bit tighter for me today. Usually the case. All right, last one. Oh, legs. Awesome. Oh my goodness, I am glad they're done. All right. So we've got our bear crawl, or of course our little floats, taking the option that works for you. All right, so let's have a little bit of a play with this. I'm going to alternate between the two on this one. So always remember to listen to your body. It's not always about choosing the harder option. All right, again, it's the third round. My hamstrings are feeling pretty cooked. So again, I'm going to choose to take that bear crawl option for now, and then maybe do my last lap of the little double foot float. All right, wherever you are, we'll go for about another, say, 20, 30 seconds. Alright, well done. Pause. Good job. Alright. Moving into our last round of our little hops or our walk-ins, your choice for the inchworms. Maybe having a play here with catching a little bit of a hover if that is in your practice. Aiming for about 6 repetitions here, so really working on that compression. All right, let's give it a go. Really doing our best to slow down the feet to the hands journey. It's quite hard under fatigue. All right, 2 more if we've got it, everyone. Whichever version you're doing is perfect. Really push that flow away. One more to go. Well done. Down to your back. I'm going to do a rolling supine twist, letting your knees fall to the right. Let your left arm come over and reach for your left leg. Roll back, knees roll to the left. Right arm comes over and reach for the right. Rolling through this beautiful rolling twist. It's one of my favourite ways to twist the body, open the shoulders. Just feels really, really good. Let me play around with that. I hope you're feeling good. I needed that. Definitely broke up my day. I was feeling a little bit flat. I've been doing a bit of writing, bit of content creation. It was just honestly, it was really nice to move, to not smash ourselves, but to get a really good little sweat happening and to shift my energy really. So I hope you felt that too. If you're not already, as always, jump on, subscribe, like the video, let me know what you want to see more of. As mentioned, I have just released my 6-week foot, knee and hip coaching program online. I do deliver the foot and hip toolkit to places such as Newcastle, Port Stephens and the Central Coast for now. If you do need it shipped in any other areas, that also can be arranged. If you want to learn a little bit more about your body from the inside out, then you might want to jump onto my 4-week nervous system regulation course that allows us to really tune into what our body does when we're bumped in our environment. Most of the things that bump us are not life-threatening, and it's up to us to recognize where our body goes. What's the self-talk that we move into? What are the physiological things that happen and what happens internally? And we can use all of these signs as a guidance system to actually cue our bodies back to safety. If there's not a real threat, then our body doesn't need to move into tension. And the quicker we can recognize when our bodies are bumped, the quicker we can return our space back to our ventral state in the nervous system. This is something I run online. It runs every Monday night, 7 p.m. But if you can't make Monday nights, that doesn't matter because it's sent to you in an email along with the PDF worksheets as well. So jump on over to my website, megspace.com.au, or follow me on Instagram, move_like_water, for my foot, knee and hip programs and nervous system regulation coaching. Have a beautiful day, guys.